Hi friends, Beck the Feminist Lawyer again, and I am so happy to have seen such a positive response to my video, The ABCs of LGBTQ. That's where this comment came from, and I'm going to go ahead and reply to that and talk a little bit about the asexual scale. If you want to go back and watch the other video, The ABCs of LGBTQ, and come back here before you continue here, that would make sense. Otherwise, let's continue our discussion. Now, the asexual scale they are sexual orientations, and it sort of speaks on the frequency, presence, or intensity of sexual attraction. Usually when you hear the term asexual, it's people who don't or rarely experience sexual attraction, or when they do experience sexual attraction, they require very specific circumstances in order for that to happen. The opposite of asexual is allosexual. So if you have somebody who just kind of experiences sexual attraction whenever they find somebody sexy, that's an allosexual person. Otherwise, you might be on the asexual scale, and there are a few different categories in there that I'm going to kind of do a smash and grab of now. You may also hear asexual people call themselves ace. Now, one of the first categories is ace flux, and this is a fluid orientation. These are people that kind of flow all over the asexual scale and can also experience attraction sort of on an allosexual level. There's egosexual, which is spelled with an A, A-E-G-O-S-E-X-U-A-L, and that's a disconnect between the self and the ability to become aroused. So they usually become aroused from a third-party perspective. So if like watching other people have sex, or like watching porn, or having sexual fantasies, etc., but they don't actually want to participate in it themselves. They don't experience attraction in that way. Apothosexual or apathosexual that's a hard word. That's another word for sex repulsed. People who just think like sex is gross and they don't want anything to do with it. And they're just completely turned off by the idea. This is not to be confused with sex negative people. Sex negative people are people who have like a moral problem with sex. It's not the same thing. This is more of a physical thing. There is also autosexual. Autosexual people experience sexual attraction either mostly or only to themselves. So these people are going to, really do a lot of solo sex. Cupiosexual people might not feel sexual attraction in the kind of allosexual way where they see somebody sexy and they want to have sex with them, but they will have sex for other reasons other than sexual attraction. So like for bonding, or for romance, or just for certain, like the physical pleasure of it. But it's not necessarily like a sexual drive for them. There's also demisexual. That's one you're going to hear a lot. These are people that don't often feel sexual attraction unless there's some sort of emotional connection between them and the other person. So they might be able to, look over and say, oh, look, there's a sexy stranger. I can recognize that that's a sexy stranger, but I don't want to have sex with that person. Whereas, somebody else might look at a sexy stranger and go, ooh, there's a sexy stranger. I want to have sex with that sexy stranger. So demisexual people can recognize that someone else is sexy and beautiful and good looking, but they won't necessarily experience that sexual arousal or attraction until there is an emotional connection there. Phrasexual is commonly known as the opposite of demisexual. So these are the people that can experience attraction to people until they form an emotional connection. So they see the sexy stranger and they go, oh, there's a sexy stranger. I want to have sex with that sexy stranger. But as soon as that sexy stranger becomes a sexy friend, they don't want to have sex with that person anymore. So the emotional connection prohibits the sexual feelings of a phrasexual person. It's pretty much the opposite of demisexuality. And then there's gray sexual. This is often called gray ace or gray asexual. This is somewhere kind of between asexual and allosexual. They can sort of flow between the two, just like kind of like an ace fluid person, ace flux. And their desire might be infrequent or low intensity. It can also be kind of ambiguous, where like they experience it and go, what is that? Is that sexual feelings? I don't know. And then they also might only experience sexual attraction for specific people. So they may love 5 different people, but only experience sexual attraction for 3 of them, or, only when under certain circumstances. So it's, I kind of call that, it's like the combination lock of asexuality. There needs to be just the right combination of person, place, circumstance in order for that sexual feeling to be unlocked for gray ace people. And then there's lithiosexual. This was formerly known as achiosexual. These are folks that only experience sexual attraction to people who do not reciprocate that attraction. They are only attracted to people who are absolutely not attracted to them. I can only imagine how frustrating that must be. Well, that's what I got for now. I can't say that I'm an expert in asexuality. There's no teacher-like experience. So if you are on the asexual scale and you've got some information that you would love to share, please do in the comments. I'm very interested in hearing what you have to say. This is not something I'm going to call myself an expert on. It's just something that I like to research and make sure that I keep abreast of, because I want to be able to serve my clients that come from a whole array of the rainbow and experiences and life. So I want to be able to make sure that I know where they're coming from so I can help them build peace in their lives and help others learn how to talk to them and vice versa. So the more you know, the better you can do. So please share your experiences, and you are in a protected zone if you do that. If anybody comes at you and starts acting like an ass, I will block them very quickly and possibly shame them publicly. Just look at my page. I do it. If you're a misogynist or a bigot on my page, just get ready to have your comment displayed. It's going to happen. Usually with a Lady Gaga soundtrack. Anyway, so I want you all to stay safe out there, my friends, and keep fighting the good fight. Thanks for listening. Bye-bye.